Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm the founder of the Graceful Warrior Project.
Hi, my name is Neema. I'm the director of Graceful Warriors Project in Tanzania.
So the Graceful Warrior Project is a global nonprofit that seeks to empower women through indigenous leadership within the context of their own culture. Our mission is to help women heal, find strength, and be empowered through God's grace. So when I grew up, there was someone who called me a nickname, Weak and Worthless. And it was a name that they would say in jest, but it was all the time, and it was throughout my entire life. So I grew up thinking, especially combined with abuse, that I really was weak and worthless, and I couldn't comprehend grace for myself. When I got older, I started praying, God, would you make me a warrior for your grace? Would you make me a warrior for your grace? Years later, I was reading in the Bible about how important names are, and that if someone names you something wrong, God will rename you, because it's what He says about you, not what the world will say. And I felt Him nudging me, Kelly, look up your name. So I looked up my name, and Kelly is Irish for warrior, and Ann is Hebrew for grace.
The Graceful Warriors Project is the project that was aimed to help the girls in different ways, the ones who are disvalued, the ones who are losing the opportunity.
We believe in a holistic approach to self-defense through our 4 pillars of self-defense, which is spiritual. The world is going to tell you different things. We want everyone to know what God says about you, so that can be a foundational truth. We also have physical self-defense that goes through proactive self-defense, verbal self-defense, these two so that they never have to get to physical self-defense, but if they have to use physical self-defense, they know ways to disengage and get away quickly. We also use economical self-defense, which means that it's anything from pig farms or sewing or safe houses to make sure that they can sustain themselves. Instead of taking a girl to school and paying for her to go to school that 1 year, we take that money and we buy a moto taxi so that the profits of that moto taxi every year sends a girl to school every year, and it continues to repeat itself. We also have our 4th pillar of self-defense, which is intellectual, through education. So a lot of times going to school sets a girl free from having to have FGM, female genital mutilation, from forced marriages as a child. It just gives her more of a chance to defend herself throughout her life in so many different ways that a lot of us don't even have to think about.
The girls that we are going to help are the girls who are, maybe they run from their families because of maybe FGM, some they are forced to be married, and some they are vulnerable, they don't have any means of them to stay at home, and some they are homeless girls. Those are the ones who will engage to stay with them here.
Some of the girls that we take in are girls that have been married, almost forced off to be married as children, or are undergoing female genital mutilation, or they've been raped, and they are afraid for their lives in their own communities, or they are house girls that are like 13 and aren't going to school, are just a house girl somewhere. The reason why we needed the safe house, particularly here in Tanzania, is Neema, who is our chief. She was taking girls in, and she had this tiny, tiny little house. She was putting a bunk bed in her living room. I mean, you could barely open her front door, but she barely had money to sometimes feed her own kids, but she knew that God would provide for her.
Safe house. We will use it to keep the girls, or to help the girls to stay here and to be at school, to help to make sure that they reach their goals.
So because she was taking so many girls in, we knew eventually that she would need a bigger place. We were walking through this land and we just said, one day you will have land of your own, Nema. And so we each picked up a piece of rock, and we both kept it. One day you will have land. One day you will be able to fully provide for your girls. You won't have to wonder where food is coming from. We dreamed maybe it would be, in a few years, 5 or so, or 10, whenever God would do it. And the very next year, God gave us land.
We all do one thing together.
Wote tunafanya kitu kimoja.
We look in the mirror and see each other. What makes one person happy to look in the mirror and another person look in the mirror feel bad about yourself?
I don't go into countries uninvited. People will hear about me either through friends. I'll pray about it, and if God opens that door, then I will gladly go. For me, I've always wanted to be a missionary since I was a very little girl. When I was going through school in elementary school and kids would say oh, I want to be a firefighter, I was like, I want to be a missionary. And then one day God opened that door for me to be a missionary in Eastern Congo, which is a war zone and also the rape capital of the world.
First of all, to thank God for Kelly and the team and the donors who make all these things to be possible.
From the very beginning, I knew the people in these countries, and I know the people from home. I want everybody to be able to come here and meet Nema and see the safe house and meet the people here and fall in love. I've had the honor of being able to invite truly hundreds of people into being a part of this through donations.
And I know it's because of God. He goes with us, and as He promised that He will never abandon us. And we see that He's going with us, and we see His hand upon our life.
It is truly all of you who have made this possible. We could not have done this without you. This is a group effort, and we all know that here, and I wish one day that you could come and see this for yourself. So thank you.